Imagine a world where you could get gigabit speed internet anywhere, even in the most remote locations. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, thanks to SpaceX's Starlink, that future is quickly becoming a reality, and it might just change the way we live, work, and connect with the world. In today's video, we're diving into how Starlink, SpaceX's satellite-based internet service, is about to get a massive upgrade. Let's break it down and see how this technology could reshape everything. The Starlink revolution, changing internet access for good. Picture this. You live in a remote area, far from any major cities, where internet options are limited, slow, or downright unreliable. For years, rural communities have been stuck with this frustrating reality. Now, enter Starlink, the satellite internet service from SpaceX. In recent years, Starlink has already revolutionized how we think about internet access in underserved areas. But what makes this system so different from traditional broadband providers? The answer lies in how Starlink works. Instead of relying on massive fiber optic cables or land-based towers, Starlink's network of satellites orbiting Earth beams internet directly to users, even in the most isolated locations. But here's the big twist. Starlink is about to take its internet speeds to the next level. SpaceX's request to the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, includes a major upgrade that could bring download speeds of up to 1 gigabit per second, Gbps. That's right, gigabit speeds, which are usually only available in cities or through fiber optic connections, could soon be available almost anywhere on the planet. What's the big deal about gigabit speeds? So why does gigabit speed matter? Let's break it down. Right now, Starlink users typically experience speeds between 25 and 220 megabits per second, with many users averaging around 100 megabits per second. While that's decent and much faster than what most people get in rural areas, it's nowhere near the speeds that fiber internet providers promise. Gigabit speeds are a game changer for several reasons: faster downloads and uploads. With a gigabit connection, downloading a movie, game, or large file could take seconds instead of minutes. Uploading videos or large files would be equally speedy. Better streaming. Imagine watching 4K video streams with no buffering or lag, even during peak hours. Smarter homes. As more people adopt smart home devices, high-speed internet will make sure everything works seamlessly, whether it's controlling lights, security cameras, or even your refrigerator. Work and play. Whether you're working from home, gaming, or using video conferencing for meetings, gigabit speeds ensure minimal lag and maximum productivity. This is especially huge for remote areas where people don't have many options when it comes to fast, reliable internet. With gigabit speeds, the possibilities for how people work and live will change forever. How Starlink plans to make this a reality. Now, how does SpaceX plan to pull this off? The key lies in some changes they've requested from the FCC. The main strategy is to lower the orbits of Starlink's satellites from around 525 to 535 kilometers to a more efficient range of 475 to 485 kilometers. This will allow Starlink to reduce latency, the time it takes to send and receive data, and increase the speed at which data is transferred. But that's not all. SpaceX is planning to increase the number of satellites in orbit, as well as adjust the elevation angle of these satellites, allowing for stronger and more consistent connections. With these changes, users should experience more stable service with less lag, even when moving across different locations. Despite these changes, SpaceX is making sure they don't flood the market with too many satellites. They're sticking with their second generation, Gen 2, satellites, keeping the total number under 29,188. This keeps their network manageable and reduces the risk of overcrowding in space. This is a delicate balancing act. Too many satellites could overwhelm the system, while too few might not provide sufficient coverage. Starlink's ongoing evolution. How they got here. SpaceX's journey to this point has been anything but straightforward. In 2016, when the company was still in the early stages of its satellite internet plans, they made a bold promise: gigabit speeds for everyone, even in remote areas. Back then, they were just working on the concept. No satellites had been launched yet, and it seemed like a distant dream. Fast forward to today, and Starlink is already a functioning service, offering decent speeds to hundreds of thousands of users worldwide. However, it hasn't yet fully lived up to that initial promise of gigabit speeds. With the proposed upgrades and new satellite technology, though, SpaceX is getting closer to delivering on that original vision. How these changes will improve the internet for everyone. The potential impact of these upgrades goes far beyond faster download speeds. For rural communities, Where internet access is still a luxury in many places, Starlink could offer a lifeline. Businesses that are based in remote locations could suddenly have the high-speed internet they need to compete globally. And it's not just for consumers. Remote working, telemedicine, and even educational opportunities will be more accessible thanks to Starlink's improved infrastructure. One of the biggest benefits of these changes is the increased reliability of service. In some areas, Starlink's current satellite positioning causes brief connectivity issues. By adjusting the orbital planes and decreasing the elevation angle, SpaceX aims to provide a stronger and more stable connection that's available for longer periods throughout the day. The challenges ahead: getting the FCC's approval. Of course, there's a catch. As exciting as all this sounds, SpaceX still needs the green light from the FCC. In the past, the regulatory body has been cautious about approving some of SpaceX's proposals. One example is when the FCC denied Starlink's application for $880 million in federal funding in 2022, citing concerns over the system's ability to consistently meet service requirements. The FCC is particularly sensitive to interference issues, and other companies like AT&T and Verizon have raised concerns that SpaceX's plans might mess with existing mobile networks. SpaceX has also faced hurdles when it comes to using certain frequency bands, as these bands are typically reserved for mobile or fixed satellite services. SpaceX is now asking for more flexibility to use those frequencies for both mobile and home satellite services, depending on where and when the demand arises. But the big question remains: will the FCC approve SpaceX's request to take Starlink to the next level? Only time will tell. But SpaceX is pushing forward, confident that these upgrades will bring a faster, more reliable experience to users worldwide. What this means for the future of connectivity. Looking ahead, if SpaceX's plans go through, the potential benefits for users across the globe are enormous. Gigabit internet speeds in rural and remote areas could help bridge the digital divide, making education, healthcare, and business opportunities more accessible than ever before. This could be the tipping point for satellite internet, showing that it's not just a temporary solution for the underserved, but a long-term, scalable alternative to traditional broadband services. Furthermore, as SpaceX refines its technology and continues to expand its satellite network, it's not just about Starlink's gigabit speeds. It's about setting the stage for the next big leap in internet technology. Future upgrades could bring even faster speeds, lower latency, and even greater coverage, ensuring that no matter where you are on Earth, you can always stay connected. Exceeding expectations: how Starlink could transform the world. Imagine living in a world where your internet connection is as reliable as electricity. That's the dream that SpaceX's Starlink project is working to make a reality. Gigabit speeds aren't just about watching Netflix in 4K without buffering. They're about transforming industries, education, and global communication. With the potential to provide high-speed internet to virtually any corner of the planet, Starlink could change how we work, learn, and communicate. From rural classrooms in developing countries to remote businesses in isolated communities, everyone will have access to the same opportunities, no matter their location. This is the true power of Starlink's upcoming upgrades, the impact on our lives. If SpaceX successfully rolls out gigabit speeds and improved reliability through Starlink, it could be the catalyst for a global shift in internet access. Imagine no longer being limited by your location when it comes to work, school, or entertainment. Starlink's mission could break down barriers that have kept people disconnected for decades. The implications are huge, not just for rural areas, but for cities too, as it could provide a truly global internet infrastructure that connects the world. If you're excited about the future of internet connectivity and how Starlink could change the world, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends. What do you think about Starlink's plans? Could this be the future of the internet for everyone? Let us know in the comments below.